Let me ask you about decisions. You already talked about it a little bit, but when we face the world and we're making different decisions, how much does our memory come into play? Is it the kind of narratives that we've constructed about the world that are used to make predictions? That's fundamentally part of the decision making.
Absolutely. Yeah. So let's say after this, you and I decided we're going to go for a beer, right?
Hmm.
How do you choose where to go? You're probably going to be like, oh, yeah, this new bar opened up near me. I had a great time there. They had a great beer selection. Or you might say, oh, we went to this place and it was totally crowded and they're playing this horrible EDM or whatever. And so, right there, valuable source of information, right? And then you have these things like where you do this counterfactual stuff like, well, I did this previously, but what if I had gone somewhere else instead? Maybe I'll go to this other place because I didn't try it the previous time. So there's all that kind of reasoning that goes into it too. I think even if you think about the big decisions in life, right? It's like you and I were talking before we started recording about how I got into memory research and you got
Yeah.
into AI. And it's like we all have these personal reasons that guide us in these particular directions. And some of it's the environment and random factors in life, and some of it is memories of things that we want to overcome or things that we build on in a positive way. But either way, they define us.
And probably the earlier in life the memories happen, the more defining power they have in terms of determining who we become.
I mean, I do feel like adolescence is much more important than I think people give credit for. I think that there is this kind of a sense like, the first 3 years of life is the most important part. But the teenage years are just so important for the brain, and so that's where a lot of mental illness starts to emerge. Now we're thinking of things like schizophrenia as a neurodevelopmental disorder because it just emerges during that period of adolescence and early adulthood. So, and I think the other part of it is that, as I guess I was a little bit too firm in saying that memory determines who we are. It's really the self is an evolving construct. I think we kind of underestimate that. And when you're a parent, you feel like every decision you make is consequential in forming this child and plays a role, but so do the child's peers. And so do, there's so much. I mean, that's why I think the big part of education, I think that's so important, is not the content you learn. I mean, think of how much dumb stuff we learned in school, right? But a lot of it is learning how to get along with people and learning who you are and how you function. And, that can be terribly traumatizing, even if you have a perfect, parents working on you.